Back at it again, everyone. Oh. Muy frio. There's a horse getting bathed right next to me. Today I'm just going to talk more about, I was listening to Dr. Huberman on a podcast today, and he was talking about the catecholamine release that you get upon being in cold water. And the catecholamines include norepinephrine, epinephrine, and dopamine. And when you do cold therapy, because though the catecholamines are associated with improved mood, alertness, mental clarity, so getting rid of brain fog, that's a lot of things, that's something that people suffer a lot from, I know I did. But when you're doing this uncomfortably cold plunge, you're getting a 2 to 3x increase in the catecholamines, and that lasts for hours. So you get this mental clarity, you get this alertness, you get this feel-good sensation for hours after, and that's huge, especially in our mental health epidemic we're experiencing right now, especially after the lockdowns and whatnot. I know that fucked me up. I got really bad mental health from that, and so many others as well, and people are just struggling with anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and they're looking for answers, and medication doesn't necessarily work all the time. I mean, that's a topic for another day, getting into big pharma. I'm not going to discuss that on this episode. But people are looking for answers, and specifically alternative answers, and that's why an ice bath is so incredibly important, because we're now learning that you can increase dopamine and these catecholamines like crazy from doing this, and you only need to be in for about 2 to 5 minutes. Dr. Huberman talks about a minimum of 11 minutes per week, so just doing 2 minutes a day, you'd hit that quota. And that's huge because all these problems we're facing on the planet right now, we have people want to fight each other, there's all these issues, disagreements, and everyone's just angry and traumatized. That's what it stems down to. I mean, the true issue, if we're really going to get into it, is we have the elites that can have a monopoly on the financial system, big pharma, control the government, all of that, and they've rigged the system and are oppressing the people. Again, I'll discuss that in later episodes. But apart from that, so many of us have traumas, and I've talked about that on a different episode, where traumas can be very subtle. We're very susceptible to trauma as kids, specifically from age 0 to 7, where we're in that theta brainwave state, and we're just like a sponge soaking in information, and you can gain trauma from as simple as your parents saying you don't deserve that cookie because you were misbehaving. Now all of a sudden your subconscious is programmed that, thinking that you're not a deserving person, and that goes all the way into adulthood. You're not deserving of that promotion and whatever it may be, and that's trauma right there. So we're all traumatized, and due to that, we'll tend to project our traumas onto others, and that's why there's so many broken relationships. People are just doing harmful, rude, mean things to each other, because all it is we're just mirroring each other and we're projecting each other's trauma. So if we're able to feel happier, feel more grateful every day, and just truly be content with ourselves, because it all stems down to self-love. If you truly love yourself, of course in a non-narcissistic way, but you have true unconditional love for yourself, no matter what, that will be projected into the field, outcasted into the field, and people will pick up on that on an energetic subconscious level, and they'll feel good about themselves, and then we'll all start to entangle like we're supposed to, because we already are entangled. Most of us don't know that, and we'll stop projecting our shit onto others. And, Darwin had it wrong. It's not about survival of the fittest. I mean, you do need to be fit to survive, but it's more important to be cooperative. So Bruce Lipton actually said that in his book, Biology of Belief, that it's survival of the cooperative. That's a more accurate term for how we should all be getting along, because we are all interconnected. We are all one. We all abide by the law of one. We should be abiding by the law of one, meaning that everything is the oneness. We all stem from source. We're all consciousness. And I honestly believe that by doing things like taking an ice bath, being healthy, attuning our antenna, which is our body, that I've talked about in a previous podcast, we're able to tune into those higher frequencies and tap into that knowledge, that wisdom that we are all one. And then we'll just start to fucking get along. And we'll get shit done, and we'll live in this harmonious unity consciousness community that we should all be living in, rather than fucking fighting each other and being assholes to each other. That's not cool, but we're just projecting our traumas, and that's all it is. Anyways, that's all I'm going to say about all that, and I do believe that to get to that point, we're in this ascension period where consciousness is growing, we're awakening to our true potential, and we're realizing, I've had so many interactions with people that are aware of this now. I've only awoken to this in the past 2 years, that we are all one, and I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see this shift happen, and I do strongly believe that if we just take action, start doing healthier things, eating better, exercising, doing fun things with each other, stop doing low vibrational things like hard drugs and excessive drinking, and taking ice baths and doing saunas, just high vibrational things like that, ice baths and saunas, we'll start to come to this realization that we are all one. We'll start acting like it. And our world will change instantly, because we have the power to do it, because we create our reality. So I'm going to end it at that. Hopefully this tub doesn't fall over.